Thank you for joining us today on our webinar today. We are talking about HVAC field workers and how you can optimize their workload. So basically, we're going to look at the day in the life of an HVAC worker and look at ways that you can actually be more effective and be more, manage their time better to get more production out of them and for your company. So hopefully this is good information for you and that you all go away with some important information. So Jonathan Humphrey is our guest speaker today. He's been with Axsoft not a long time, I think about 7 or 8 months, but he has 20 plus years of experience in the industry in helping field service workers get the best out of software solutions and the best, optimize themselves for their best possible performance. He's got a degree from the University of Phoenix, a degree in business administration and finance, and has helped many companies deploy software within their field service in the field service industry. So Jonathan has spoken with us a couple of times on these webinars, and we always enjoy his insights. So Jonathan, thank you for joining and welcome.
All right, awesome, Ken. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. All right, well, thank you very much, Ken, for the introduction. I appreciate it. Good afternoon, good morning to wherever you're at out there. Yes, so we're going to talk about HVAC in particular today. We're going to cover exactly what our product does here for many different customers, but we're going to kind of focus it a little bit more on HVAC. Like Ken said, my name is Jonathan Humphrey. I'm actually out of the Northeast area. I'm a regional director for Axsoft. Been here for about 7 months or so, but got a lot of experience in other companies as well with providing a software solution similar to what we're doing here. Really trying to find a way that it fits within your organization to help you with processes, create efficiencies, lower expenses, but increase revenue by giving your people more time during the day to do things that will be more productive than wasting time doing different things that our type of software can help them kind of streamline their day a little bit better. So we're talking about more jobs every day. We're talking about more accurate information from the field and great vision into the field. So really our mission here is to kind of help businesses realize their full potential by improving their productivity and their profitability. Mobile Workforce Plus is an end-to-end cloud-based enterprise software solution that provides faster and greater visibility into business operations. With Workforce Manager's suite of tools, your business can be smarter, more efficient, and more successful. We really take pride on streamlining the daily management of your mobile workforce. We can protect your fleet, protect your assets, while helping your company succeed out in the marketplace. Mobile Workforce Plus is really designed to amplify your business's productivity and uncover ways to boost profits. We do this with giving a few core benefits. One thing is we give you a better way to track, manage, and monitor the performance of your employees' fleet and their assets as well. We also can improve employee communication, transparency, engagement across a variety and range of locations. What we can also do for you is make smarter, more data-driven decisions. We get the information, it's real time. I can make decisions based on that information to really make my company move forward and stay really efficient. We can improve employee satisfaction and safety. Huge things right there, right? So we can really make it to where you're feeling confident with your field vision that everybody out there is being safe, we're handling our customers properly, and we're really doing the best thing that we can do day in and day out for our customers and for the business. We can also enhance customer experience from the beginning of intaking their order through payment. So you can really see us as an end-to-end solution that can help you along the way with getting that invoice out, creating the work order, sending it out to your people in the field, having them work through the process, and then getting it back to the main office so that it can turn around and be paid and turn into a paid invoice. What we are is we're an app that exists on Apple or an Android device. Within that app, on that device out in the field, people can do many things with us. Digital forms, dispatching, things like that. And with our portal that's on the back side of that, we can keep track of all of those things via the corporate office. So when it comes to managing your HVAC technicians, these are just some of the things that we mentioned here on the board that will tell you that, this is kind of a sight into what you guys deal with day in and day out. But what we're really hearing for when we talk with HVAC companies is they're really dealing with these issues, seeing the field, seeing where everybody's at, when things change, when work orders need to be changed, when projects need to be changed, when there's an emergency. We're finding that many companies, specifically HVAC companies, are having a hard time really making an efficient choice of how they should handle that problem that's coming up, that emergency, or just their day in and day out look as far as what their technicians are doing out in the field. So with Workforce Manager Plus, what we're going to do is we're going to give you a way to kind of see that. We're going to give you a vision to the field, but we're also going to make sure that all of your people out in the field have all of the information that they need so they can do their job properly, efficiently, and really kind of create that day that we want them to have as business owners. So from there, the way that we do that and the way that we help organize your people out there is by a lot of the different features that we have. There's a lot of software companies out there that will fix one issue for you. Maybe they fix 2 issues for you. We have a whole suite that can exist within our portal and within our app that can mean a lot to a lot of different areas of your business. So we can provide job dispatching from beginning to end. We can get information into that job. We can get it out to your people out in the field. It'll show up on their device. They know exactly who they're going to talk to, where they're going to travel to with turn-by-turn directions, what they need to bring with them, what kind of job they're going to do when they get out there. Any previous work order information that they need to know can all exist within this app when they get that dispatch. We can give them wireless forms. So instead of having paper forms out in the field that we know can cause havoc with, with auditing and things like that, not being filled out right, getting lost, whatever, with wireless forms, we can put that all into our app, all on their device. With that, we can create forms that people will fill out in the field that will always be accurate. Then they can take paper to the next level as well. So not only do they have all the things that you have on a paper, but we can add pictures. We can ask GPS stamping. We can take payments within the form. We can do lots of different things on a wireless or a digital form that you just cannot do with paper. We can also do timekeeping, so people can clock in and out on their device. It GPS stamps. We know that they're on the job site because it has a GPS and it has a timestamp. So we know exactly we're paying to the minute instead of maybe a guesstimate of those type of things. Also, they can clock in and out when they get to a job or to the actual location or anything like that we want to do within timekeeping. Much more accurate timekeeping, easier to audit, easier to make sure that it's correct and that we don't lose any money for bad paying of overtime and things like that. We also have tracking. So within the tracking, we know where all of our devices are at any given time, or all of our assets are at any given time. We're protecting our company brand, but we're also knowing exactly where everything is at every given time. We have a messaging app as well. So we can have private messaging within the team, within individuals, all built into the app. And as a business owner, I have vision into exactly what is going on with that messaging so that I can make sure that's on my platform and not off of the application, and people are doing kind of their own kind of rogue things as well. We can route optimization as well, so we can plan out people's day within our portal, so we make sure we're most efficient as possible. Who's the closest person to job? As they go through, we got person going from this place, this place, this place, and we make sure that that's within a short amount of time. So we really make sure we save on energy, we save on time. We can also get alerts with our program as well. So anytime that anybody is idling too long, they answer a question on a form a certain way. Maybe they say on an HVAC inspection, they say that something is really broken and it's actually a major issue, that we can get a text alert or an email alert that has happened. So we know we can fix it right away. We can also, like I mentioned before, take mobile payments out in the field too. So we don't have to call in or have people write down their credit card information on a piece of paper or anything like that. We can look really professional all along while we're doing this. And another thing to add to this is we can also make this kind of a white label as well, the product. So when you go into the application, you go into the portal, it can have your company's name on it. It can have your company's image on there. anything that you wanted to say on there. So it really looks like a native product to what your current inside environment is, or your software environment is. So people feel much more comfortable as employees entering the information, but also as customers entering in the information as well. All right, so from there, what we're looking at here kind of is that productivity and reduce on the overtime cost. So this is our timekeeping application. So what we can do with this is we can have, as you can see on the screen there, clock in and out, breaks, things like that. They can also use this to clock in and out of certain jobs, certain job codes, those kind of things. So we know how to pay them for certain hours that they're on the job. That's can all be done in here as well. And the awesome part about our software is we have an open API as well. So if you're using QuickBooks, you're using Kronos, you're using ADP, you're using any system like that, we can easily take this information and drop it in there so your payroll, flows a lot quicker than maybe touching it from, from a piece of paper and entering into the system and then putting into your backend system. So just realize that we have this ability not only to get all this information up front, but we also have a way to deliver it to your backend so you can increase productivity and efficiency when it comes to that as well. Now, within our portal, we also have the ability to approve and decline timesheets as well. So what you can do is you can go into the portal, you can find anything. If you edit anything on there, it will have a paper trail, or a digital trail, I'd rather say. And then we can also send that timesheet back to an employee for them to go ahead and approve our changes and then get it back from them. So it kind of gives you that flow that we need when we're talking about field reps. And a good thing about this too is they don't have to come into the office to clock in, wasting a half an hour driving into the office and back as well. So real great way for them to be real productive, and exactly what's going on via our app. And then we also have, like I mentioned before, job dispatching. You see a real great example there on the screen. My job just came in. I'm driving to this residence. It's got my PIN on it. I know exactly where I'm going. I hit get directions. It's got all my information on there of how I'm supposed to turn and where I'm supposed to go, what time I'm supposed to be there. It has my customer name, it has my phone number, but we can put any information in there that you want on this. This really saves time when it comes to getting the jobs out to people. When I talk to HVAC companies, this is one of the things that they struggle with, right? People are coming in the morning and picking up jobs that they're going to do throughout the day, or they're having to call the technicians, hey, so-and-so, and they got to pull over, grab a piece of paper, write down what's going on. With this, they just look at their device. When they're stopped on the side of the road, they look at the device, what's my next job? I know exactly where I'm going. I know what I'm going to do there. I know that I need to bring these certain items. Really, as a business owner, really takes the downtime away from the situation and really makes sure that, when they get up in the morning and they start their shift, they are looking at their application. They know the jobs. They're going from job to job to job. There's no filler in the middle besides driving. And we know that they're most productive. And also we have our tracking option to make sure that everything is going right out there as well. But what happens when one of those jobs is an emergency job and needs to change? Right now, a lot of people within the HVAC will have to call up at a technician. Hey, who's the closest? Where are you at? Are you almost done? What about so-and-so? Are they almost done? With this, all I do is I go in there and I grab the job because it changed. I pull it back from the person that I assigned it to. I make the changes that I need to make, and then I send it to the person that's the closest to the job. Efficiency, amazing. So with that, hopefully we can get some more jobs in the day so we can increase revenue as well, which is always the key, right? So great thing with job dispatching. Wireless forms is kind of our biggest plus, or our biggest feature that we sell the most. So many issues with paper forms out there, whether it be getting them lost, customer forgot to sign it, so now our technician has to go back out there, talk to that person again. Really look unprofessional with a lot of these type of things when you're calling to get information that you already got before. But not only think of it as a better, efficient way to get information, but it's a better way to get more information. So what we're going to get is not just all the normal things that I would get on a piece of paper. Like I mentioned before, we're going to get pictures, before and after pictures. We're going to have links that we can have within here that can send somebody over to a customer service form so they can rate us on exactly what they did today and if it went well, and we can get a copy of that too. So with paper forms, they're much more limited to what you can get, but with wireless forms or digital forms, there's much more. So we can do UPC scanning, we can do barcode scanning, photo capture, we can do real live signatures with GPS stamp, timestamp. If we have anybody that says, hey, they weren't at my location at this time, well, no, I have the time that they started the form and I have the time that they ended the form, which shows me that they were on your location at this time. And I also have a GPS location for that too. I also have proof that this was what the job looked like before. This is what the job looked like after. And this is your signature right on the after picture that says everything was fine, right? So really that accountability, but really it's a lot about professionalism too. Filling out this type of form and turning it around to a customer sign is much more professional than an old piece of paper that has scratches all over it and maybe is all wrinkled and those type of things. So just a better professional look, a great look for the customer to see that, hey, I'm dealing with somebody that really is a really good company here. And once again, remember that we can also white label all of the screen as well. So at the top can have even within the app itself, can have your company profile, can have your company image, anything that you want to have on there, even your license information or that you're bonded or those type of things as an HVAC company. So this really changes the game. And not to mention also in here, it shows here the calculations. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm out at a job and I want to do calculations, if I have to whip out my calculator, I have to whip out my phone to do calculations, I'm really putting the thing that I'm not looking professional anymore, and there's a real good chance I'm going to make a mistake. With a digital form, the prices are all there. The calculations are all there. Everything that the employee puts in there is going to come out correct, and we're going to have no bad pricing or bad calculations. So we make sure that we get the revenue that we deserve. Text and notifications. So this I mentioned a little bit before. What this will do for us is give us any indication that anything within the forms, the tracking or anything like that, anything that goes wrong or I need an update on, I can get a text or a notification via email or an SMS message saying that, hey, so-and-so left a certain area that they weren't supposed to leave, or so-and-so didn't fill out this form and actually submit it, and now it's over the time that job was supposed to take. Now I can call them up, say, hey, what's going on? Or I can look on my portal and see exactly where they might be located. So with notifications, it not only is going to keep us with an accurate look at exactly where everybody's at, but it's going to give me a notification so I don't have to sit there and just stare at the portal and stuff. When things happen, I can know about it just right onto my phone itself. So great way there to kind of follow up on everybody, make sure our brand is being presented out in the field in the best way possible. So GPS tracking, accountability thing. Yeah, I think on a front, a lot of people will say, well, I trust my people out in the field and those type of things. Not really about that. What it's about is it's about making sure that everybody's being safe out in the field. If I have a customer that complains about somebody that was driving too fast on a road, I want to go into my system here and I want to see if I got an alert that they were speeding on the highway. And if they weren't, then I know, okay, well, then I protected my employee and I'll tell them, everything is fine. What if they were going over, then I want to go to them and say, hey, this is what happened. So I just want to make sure you got my name on your van. I want to make sure you're being good out there. That's all this is for. And then also it could be for billing purposes. This is when my person arrived at your location. This is when they ended at the location. And also with GPS tracking, what we can do is we can give the customer a kind of a range of, hey, they're going to be here between 1 and 3. They'll get a text notification on their phone that shows that we're going to be there between 1 and 3. And we want to make sure that actually happens. So not only can our people get alerts when they have jobs, I can get alerts when things change. Customer can get alerts as the job progresses. So a real great thing about having GPS tracking is all that stuff can kind of go along with that. Not to mention the asset tracking portion of it. If you've got equipment, HVAC equipments and maintenance vehicles that are out in the field and they are sitting at a certain time, if one of those moves at 2 o'clock in the morning, you get an alert right away. So something is happening that shouldn't be happening. If the truck doesn't make it back to the yard at the end of the night, it's out in the field, I want to get a message if that truck is still outside the yard at 8 o'clock at night. So I know do I still have an employee out on the field? Is something else going on? Did they drive it to their house? Did somebody steal it? All that can be done with GPS tracking. And then for really what we're looking for is additional job duties for certain employees. So we can get all of these things, accepting the payments out in the field. We can get job breakdowns throughout the day of exactly how much revenue we're bringing in. We can scan devices for barcodes. We can do all this stuff. So what we're really doing is we're giving the people out in the field the power to kind of handle all of these things on their own without having to call back into the office to kind of interact that way, making them as more productive as possible, but really saving on time, money, and paperwork as well. So one of the use cases that I have on here is a commercial building, an HVAC company that uses us right now. And what they really use us for is mainly for the mobile timekeeping. They're reducing labor costs with this. They're making sure that they have the correct job code for each person that is working, so they make sure that they get paid right, that we can bill the customer correctly. They use us for that, but they also use us for fleet tracking. So what they're going to have there is they're going to have any kind of information that we can give them, whether it's been idling too long, it's speeding, it went outside of a geofence. We can create geofences as well. So if they go outside of that, I can get a message, or if they go into it, I can get a message as well. So I can kind of keep track of where everybody's at that. And that's really for that dispatching, protecting the brand, all those different things that come along with that. They're also using us for mobile forms as well. So they've got work orders, inspection sheets they'll use for us. And then they use the messaging to make sure that any message that corporate has to send out to everybody, they know that they can send it out to everybody in an instant and have a read receipt of everybody seeing it. For HR purposes, for just information purposes, or anything like that, it's a great way to keep everybody on the same page by giving them really accurate information and up to date, so that everybody on the team knows exactly where they are at any given time. Then we also have some installation companies that do the same thing as well. I'll just point out on the bottom left-hand corner here, this is a great look at how we manage our scheduler. This is our technician here. These are his jobs. These are how long they take. I can click on any of these and see all the details of the job, where the job is at any time, whether it's just a dispatch, whether it's currently being worked, whether it was completed, whether it was rejected. All that can be seen within the portal here as well. So just a great way to kind of manage your people out in the field. And with this, I know that they're in a certain truck, they're currently on the clock, currently they're moving, or they're stopped at a location. I can see all of that within our portal. Just a great way to manage your field staff. So with that, like I was mentioning at the very beginning, a single all-in platform. I don't have to get 3 different companies, a job dispatching company, a forms company, and then a messaging company. I can get all of it under one roof, one throat to choke, one group to go after if anything goes wrong, but also one portal to make sure I can manage everything that I do day in and day out. Just something that a lot of companies don't offer out there. And I know you're talking about, with the HVAC companies and stuff, what if I don't have somebody that is really knowledgeable about learning about all of this stuff? Don't worry, we have our professional services included. We're going to give you an annual amount of money that you can use towards the setting up of this. So all you do, you sign a contract with us, you send us the forms that you want us to digitize. We do all of that stuff for you. We bring it back, put it in the portal, and then we train you on how to manage it, how to watch everything, how to make changes if you want, but also we're going to be there for you after the fact in case there's any issues or anything like that. And not only will we do all that, we'll also provide you with weekly and quarterly reports on any information that you need when it comes to the data that's coming in. So just know we got your back. Don't think that this is overwhelming as far as getting it out to your team. We'll help you with that with full training as well. So with that, Ken, I'm going to turn it over to you for any questions that we might have for the last few minutes here.
Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. We have a couple of questions here. If there's anyone in the audience who still has a question, it's not too late. Go ahead and ask that question in the Q&A feature. So first of all, let's see here. Once you've created a wireless form, paperless form, I should say, how do you send that to the customer? Can you email it to the customer?
Yeah, so Yeah, great question. So the forms themselves are on the actual application. So we're filling them out. We're doing the things that we want. At the end of the form, what we can do is two different things when it comes to getting the information to a customer. First of all, we can put their email address in at the end of the form. So as soon as I submit that form, they're going to get a copy of that form, and we can make sure that that copy shows everything that we filled out on the form or only certain parts of the things that we filled out on the form. Right. So we can actually make certain questions show up on a customer version and not show up on a customer version. Now, of course, on our backside version, it has everything. So yes, so we put the email in, we send them a copy, they have their quote, they have their pictures, anything that we have in the form that we want them to see can be right on there. And then secondary to that, we can also send them, after that form is submitted, it can also automatically automatically populate a public form. So a link will go to that customer's address, the link will go to the actual device of our employee. The link will take them to a survey where they can answer anything that they want, questions that we give them to find out how their service was that day. They can do it right there on our employee's device, or they can get it in their email and do it at a later date. So yes, so two ways of them kind of not only to get the information from the work order, but also to do a customer survey at the end or anything else that we want to get to the customer after the fact.
Yeah. So a lot of times HVAC companies, like they'll be on site for multiple days or weeks with big projects. This customer questioned, can I have our technicians automatically clock in / out when they arrive at or leave the job site?
Yeah, definitely. So with that, that can happen lots of different ways, but the main couple ways here is the timekeeping. They get onto their app as soon as they get onto the site, or if we're paying them for driving, whatever. As soon as they get onto the app, they can automatically click on the mobile timekeeping and it will clock them in. So yes, for sure, right off the bat, that's kind of the way that you can do it. There is other ways as well. So, I mean, we can also have people clocking in and out as they go to the job from a geofence perspective. Let's say we have a location that we have a group of 15 people that are going to for the next 2 weeks. Every time that device travels into that geofenced area, it automatically clocks them in. And then when they leave that area, it clocks them out. So those are two different ways. We can have them do it manually themselves, or we can make it automatic, make it easier on them, maybe make it more accurate by having it click and time keep on certain alerts or certain areas that they might go to as well. So yes, a couple different ways to clock in there. One automatic, one a little bit more manual, but yes, all on the app, all in the same place that they're doing all their job dispatching and all their work orders and getting all their messages. Yep.
This customer or this attendee said, we have dozens of paper forms that we use regularly across the company. How would we go about creating digital versions of them?
Okay, cool. So yeah, so like I was mentioned on the last couple of slides there, you get it over to us. Let's say you have your top 3 or 4 forms that you have. What we'll do is we'll digitize them for you. We'll get them into your account. We'll get on the call with you. We'll show you exactly what all the forms look like. So then you can see them on your device and make sure they're all right. If any changes need to be made, we'll be on a call with you to make those changes to the forms. And while we're doing that, we're going to show you exactly what we're doing within the portal. So you can also, after the fact, after initial training, go in there and make the changes that you want. And the great thing about digital forms, besides all the other things that I mentioned, you can change them on the fly. So anytime that anything changes, a verbatim, a government regulation, anything like that, you don't have to throw away thousands of pieces of paper or change a whole file. All you do is go into our portal, add a question, add a verbatim, a text field, whatever you need. You hit submit. That new version goes out to everybody in the field. You never have to worry about anybody using an old form or an old version of the form. They always have the most accurate information that we want them to have. And it's always real time. So yes, really easy for us to help you get started and for us to train you and make sure you're successful in the long run. Good question.
Okay, I'm adding in this last question just because I hear it all the time, but does your app work on Apple and Android devices?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely works on both, and it will adjust itself to any type of screen or anything like that as well. So yes, definitely will work on all those devices.
Thank you. Now those are all the questions we had, and it just so happens we're at the bottom of the hour, so we wanted to keep this to 30 minutes. So Jonathan, thank you again for your time and information today, and thank you to everyone who has attended. We have these webinars monthly at Axoft, so if you like the information here, go ahead and sign up for future webinars. Also, if you want to get in touch with somebody, we've got a couple of ways you can do that: axoft.com/MWP, or the phone number there that you see on the website or on the slide. So get in touch with us one of those two ways if you want to. Thank you again for attending, and have a great day until next time.